Hey guys, it's Dick Polipnick here, and welcome to another episode of Online Growth Systems. Today's episode, we are going to be going into why I was willing to get into debt to buy books. Alright, so let's dive right into the topic. Why am I willing, or a better way, why was I willing in the past tense to get into debt? To actually owe money to an institution, and I have to pay it back both principal and with an interest rate, more than what I borrowed, to buy books. To buy books! Why was I willing to do that? Most people's advice, like Dave Ramsey, I'm just kidding, but not really though. Dave Ramsey recommends get out of debt. Be debt-free. Have you ever heard that? Oh, I want to be debt-free. I want to be freedom, man! Woohoo! You know what? That's not always the best solution. Yeah, if you are really bad at managing money and you are a really bad spender and you don't understand the difference between a liability and an asset, you don't know how cash flow works, you don't have any investments, and you're probably not going to be willing to learn, yeah, I guess the one piece of advice I would give you is to get out of debt, because apparently you don't know how to use it right. Debt, like a gun. Debt's like a gun. You can use a gun to kill an animal and feed your family if you're starving, right? Or you can use it to harm other people, right? There's pros and there's cons. It's a tool. It can be used for good, used for bad. Debt is the same way. You just need to know how to use it. Just like you take gun safety, you need to know how to work with debt. That's why watching Online Growth Systems, my YouTube channel. That's why listening to Tony Robbins, anybody who works with debt on a positive scale. Robert Kiyosaki, great one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Look in past videos for reviews I've done on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And when you use debt in a good way, it actually provides more of a return. It makes you more money than you pay in interest. I'm going to say that again. If you use debt correctly, you can use it to make more money than you paid in interest. So it profits. You can profit from debt. Whoa, shocker, right? Well, for those of you that do understand how liabilities and assets work, look at some of my videos. If they're made yet, I'll put them in a link somewhere. Check it out. But to kind of explain, a liability is something that sucks money out of your pocket. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket. Not going to dive into those details, but so why do I consider books an asset? Don't you just spend money on books? Books you don't hit the book on the table and money comes out, right? No. But the information that I learn from those books helps me in my business, in my career, in my products, my sales, to make more money. It's like, why do you go to college? Why are you willing to get into debt to go to college? Same reason, because you're hoping to learn things that'll project your career to make more money. Same thing. You don't need a degree. You don't need the degree. You need the skills. You need the knowledge. You need what the degree represents. You don't need a physical piece of paper. Like, I didn't graduate from college. I dropped out. But what you do need is the knowledge that you gained from college to do the job, okay? For me, it's the same thing. I buy books, hundreds of books. I go on Amazon.com once a month, and I try to order, 10 books. I try to order 10 books a month, and I try to get through 3 times a week, something like that. I don't know exactly. But anyway, why am I willing to put that purchase on a credit card that I don't intend on paying right away the next month? So the reason I was talking early in the video in past tense is it's just not making any more sense for me to do that, because I'm just having a lot of cash flow coming in right now from some of my businesses. But 12 months ago, I didn't have any cash flow because I was putting all my money into my investments, into my ideas, my products, my businesses, and I had no money to spend for myself. So what I did is I put it on my credit card. And why was I willing to buy a book and finance it with interest? Because I believe, I seriously, truly, honest to God believe that the information that I gain from those books will pay me massive dividends, way more than that interest on that credit card was. So if I'm paying, let's say, out of $1,000 worth of books that I buy in, a course of a couple months, out of the $1,000, let's say that I really have some really bad interest, okay, and it puts it at like $1,200, okay, because I didn't pay it right away or something, then whatever, 20%. And so I'm paying an extra $200 to buy those books by doing it not with cash, doing it with a credit card. In my opinion, that month's worth, that $1,000 worth of books is going to make me $1 million. Who wouldn't spend $1,200? Nay, who wouldn't spend, let's do a better comparison, who wouldn't spend another $200 measly to make $1 million? I know I for sure would. So that's what you got to start looking at. Like, too many people are looking at their education, their teaching themselves, their self-education, learning as something that's just a cost. Oh man, I can't afford that online course. I can't afford that book. I can't afford to pay for graduate school to go become a whatever psychologist or something. It's just too expensive. I'm just going to settle for a job so I don't have to have so much debt. You got to look at it from an investor's standpoint. And you're right, maybe some books aren't worth it. I mean, of course, out of that collection of books, I might have one or two that were crap, and it was just somebody who was motivate. Yeah, reach for the moon, man. You'll hit the stars if you miss, you know what I mean? Like, there's way too many books about that. I want some meat. Give me some knowledge. Give me something I can apply in my business the next day, or the very day I'm reading it. You know what I mean? That's what I love about authors like Robert Kiyosaki, Tim Ferriss. Another YouTube channel, I'll give them a shout out, is Valuetainment. I love those guys. They give you actual insight into business, experiences they have done, and they're telling you so you can apply it to make more money. Not just, it's all in your head, man. If you visualize it, the power of making shit appear, You do the math. Which one is worth more to your penny? Which one is worth more bang for your buck? Yeah, if you're in a huge slump and you're really down, you need that boost of a motivational book. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But when you read motivation book after motivation book after motivation book after motivation book, I mean, if you can't motivate yourself, you're not an entrepreneur. It's flat out. Sorry. If you're watching this video and you're like, man, that's me. Well, at least someone told you, until you invest so much time and effort and then you never make it. So, or you can change it around. That's what I would do. But thanks guys for watching. Kind of done. It was a little more of a rant than it was it was educational. I mean, hopefully I changed your guys' minds on that perspective a little bit if you have been looking at books and education the wrong way. You know what? I'll probably put a link in my description below about some books that I recommend. So check those out. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you flick that little subscribe button. Just barely hard enough so that you don't hurt its feelings, but hard enough that you make sure that you're subscribed and that you can keep getting notified when we come up with videos. So also slap the little bell. See if it makes a little noise. Ding! Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.
From a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job, but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box. Nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop. Cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring. I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master. I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I wanna do when I want to.